This is CBN NewsWatch.
Thanks for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Mark Martin. President Donald Trump's reversal of a policy separating migrant families at the Mexico border sparked confusion over how the new guidelines will play out. Our team in Washington is covering the story.
President Trump says his executive order, which ends the practice of separating families at the border, shows compassion while still pursuing his zero-tolerance policy for migrants entering the country illegally.
I didn't like the sight or the feeling of families being separated. There's a problem that's gone on for many years, as you know, through many administrations, and we're working very hard on immigration. It's been just left out in the cold. People haven't dealt with it, and we are dealing with it.
The White House was under intense pressure to make a move after images showing children being taken away from their parents and held in detention facilities. Trump made clear the zero-tolerance policy of detaining those entering the country illegally continues, but now kids will stay in detention centers with their parents. He talked about how he got pressure from First Lady Melania Trump and his daughter Ivanka to amend the policy.
Anybody with a heart would feel very strongly about it. We don't like to see families separated. At the same time, we don't want people coming into our country illegally.
Trump hopes lawmakers will match his executive order with legislation addressing the problem of illegal immigration on a broader scale. CBN News congressional correspondent Abigail Robertson has that story from Capitol Hill.
The president may have put a Band-Aid on this situation, but serious issues are likely to keep popping up until Congress finally passes comprehensive immigration reform.
But ultimately, we need a large-scale solution on immigration. Immigration is not an issue that you can just look at and say, we'll pick on one area and ignore all the rest.
A group of Republican senators introduced a quick legislative fix aimed at keeping families together at the border. But it does not address other immigration issues, like protecting the so-called dreamers.
All those are important issues to be resolved that Congress has talked about and dropped, talked about and dropped. It's time to be able to resolve those.
Senators are still frustrated they failed to pass 4 reform bills in February, one which would have prevented separating the families. The House plans to vote on 2 immigration bills Thursday. Representative Kathy McMorris Rogers tells CBN News that while she's pleased with the executive order, it's time for Congress to act.
I believe that we have put forward a really strong proposal that will make sure our border is secure, but also provide a DACA solution.
Brown supports border security, but wants to see it accomplished through technology and additional personnel, not a wall.
A wall that is built is a wall or an obstacle that eventually will, there'll be workarounds and go-arounds. What we need to do is focus on comprehensive immigration reform.
Reporting from Capitol Hill, Abigail Robertson, CBN News.
Here's a look at some of the other major stories we're following in the CBN newsroom today. Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced Wednesday he is legalizing marijuana nationwide. Trudeau said that the government hopes to draw money away from organized crime. The country will become the second in the world to make pot legal nationwide. It will go into effect on October 17th. Israel's army says warplanes targeted about 25 suspected Hamas positions in response to heavy Palestinian fire. Israel said Palestinians fired about 45 rockets and mortars at southern communities Wednesday. Israel's military intercepted 4 missiles launched from Gaza. Hamas praised the militant attacks, but did not take responsibility for them. It was the biggest flare-up between the sides in weeks. No casualties were reported. A recent study has found younger generations around the world are becoming increasingly less religious. Pew Research Center surveys from the last 10 years show adults younger than 40 are less likely to say religion is very important in their lives. Researchers did say people in poorer parts of the world are more religious. The surveys spanned 106 countries. For more on these and other stories, visit cbnnews.com. President Trump is planning to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin next month. According to sources familiar with the matter, the sit-down will take place either before the NATO summit on July 11th or after Trump visits Britain on July 13th. Trump met with Putin twice last summer and appears set on restoring Russia's place in the international community. Still, the relationship between Moscow and Washington has been rocky, largely due to the conflict in Syria. and sanctions imposed on members of Putin's inner circle earlier this year. President Trump says the media is not giving him enough credit for his meeting with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. At a rally in Duluth, Minnesota, he told the crowd that North Korea has already returned the remains of hundreds of U.S. troops missing from the Korean War and is committed to denuclearization.
Our great fallen heroes, the remains, in fact, today already 200 have been sent back.
There's been no official confirmation of this from military authorities, but it was a term Kim has said he's agreed to. There are more than 7,000 U.S. military personnel that remained unaccounted for from the Korean War. More than a dozen people representing a variety of Christian organizations gathered outside the White House Wednesday. They are rallying that President Trump would bring American pastor Andrew Brunson home. Brunson has been behind bars in Turkey since October 2016. He was charged with espionage and was accused of helping terrorist groups. U.S. officials say those charges are false. He had been a missionary in Turkey for more than 20 years.
Save the Persecuted Christians and Coptic Solidarity, along with Middle East Forum, very concerned about Pastor Brunson, who's imprisoned in Turkey on terrorist charges and conspiracy charges, but we know him to be a political pawn of President Erdogan.
On Monday, the U.S. Senate passed a defense policy bill that would delay the planned sale of more than 100 F-35 fighter jets to Turkey and calls for the Defense Department to come up with a plan to end Turkish participation in making the jets. It still needs approval from the House and President Trump to become law. Pastor Brunson remains behind bars. His trial will resume July 18th. Coming up, this group is helping babies born addicted to opioids. This country's opioid epidemic is so overwhelming that it's enslaving even our youngest generation. Each half hour, a baby is born addicted to these drugs because of moms hooked on opioids. Lori Johnson explains why it's vitally important to help these babies and their new mothers make it through those first critical days after leaving the hospital.
Each day, hospital workers deal with babies born addicted to opioids.
They often are very, very unconsolable is probably the best way to describe it.
It can take around 2 weeks to wean these tiny victims off the drug. Then hospitals discharge the babies even though they still feel the after effects.
Most of the time the babies still go home with mom,
provided she promises to stay clean. A new mom who's withdrawing, taking care of a difficult baby who's also withdrawing, too often breaks under the pressure and falls into a dangerous relapse.
I believe unless the people of faith stand up, the opioid crisis is going to continue to overtake us.
That's why Christian counselor Dawn Hennessy started Angel Arms, a ministry helping both moms and babies recovering from addiction.
I believe, honestly, that God has called the people, His kingdom people, to save the lost, the broken, the orphans, the widows.
Here at Angel Arms, these volunteer snugglers focus on the little victims.
We love them. We do pray for them. And sometimes they just need held really tight when they're shaky, belly aches, coughing, spitting up a lot.
Thanks to medical training and help from above, they can help with the extreme agitation suffered by the babies.
Well, today, while his stomach was giving him a hard time, I was just whispering the name of Jesus in his ear. And yeah, I do pray over them while I'm holding them. But the name of Jesus is powerful.
Snugglers also give mom a break so other volunteers can focus on her.
There's a lot of hope. There's a lot of people I've worked with that have come out into recovery now, and there's a lot of children that we've been able to help.
Kathy Shively's addiction began, as many do, trying to ease the pain.
I have 3 dental implants, so the pain from the dental implants caused me to be prescribed lots of pain medication. So opiates became an addiction.
She brings little Connor here because these snugglers soothe him in a way no one else can.
It's overwhelming for family to watch an NAS baby because there are times when he's just so fussy and there's nothing that they could do. I've had to leave jobs and come home.
In addition to childcare, Angel Arms provides free baby supplies, helps moms find housing, and pursues anything that will promote stability.
And I really felt trapped, and I think that the heroin addiction, that's a good description of it. You just feel trapped, and you can't get out, you know, until you have somebody come along your side to help you.
In order for her child to receive care at Angel Arms, mom must get regular Christian counseling here.
What I tell my staff is you need to see them through the eyes of Jesus as broken people that need love. So we've actually experienced whole families coming to know Jesus just because of a little baby.
When I come here, it brings me encouragement. If I need to cry, they hear me cry. If I need to know what the next step is, they guide me in the next step.
Angel Arms never charges a fee because outside donors helped fund the ministry.
We just rely on what God gives us, and so far it's worked.
And as it grows, so does the need.
We have police officers calling us. We have drug court here in Pennsylvania. So we have judges calling us, attorneys, social workers. We have people from West Virginia, Ohio, Maryland calling us.
Fortunately, other faith groups are calling as well.
I do tell churches before we work with them, are you ready for the least of these to come into your congregation? And are you ready to put your arms around them and love them?
And Hennessy plans to expand because she knows help is needed beyond regular working hours. This large home was donated to Angel Arms. Once it's renovated, it'll be used as a residential program where people can stay overnight for weeks at a time. They're praying God will provide the resources for the big renovation. So while the opioid epidemic rages on, ministries like Angel Arms work to break the generational curse of addiction. Lori Johnson, CBN News.
Still ahead, he's been called the Berry Gordy of gospel music. We're sitting down with Marquise Boone in Studio 5. Welcome back. Tasha Cobbs, Casey J, Brianna Babineau. The names are very familiar to gospel music fans, but you may not know the man behind the music. Meet Marquise Boone.
That joyful noise rising from this Duluth, Georgia church is Kalante Gavin rehearsing for tonight's concert.
Kalante is special, man. Like, the same feeling I got with Tasha and with Casey is that same feeling I get with Kalante. I kind of compare him to a Micah Stampley meets Tasha Cobbs wrapped up in one. It's just...
Kalante is one of the newer artists signed to Pastor Marquise Boone's record label. The music producer and pastor has charted the careers of gospel hit makers Tasha Cobbs, Casey J, and Brianna Babineau.
You've scored some hits, you've scored some hit makers, but you don't sing?
I don't sing, man. It's funny, I don't sing. I have no voice, man. I can tell you what note, I can tell you how it goes, but I cannot hold a note. I can't hold a note, I can't sing. I write, but I cannot sing.
So you've written songs?
Yes, I've written songs,
Do you play any instruments?
No instruments. No instruments, man. Can't play a lick, can't play nothing. All I can do is write and preach. That's it. That's all I can do.
Hey, life, look at me. Boone's natural ear and eye for music talent have some comparing him to the music legend Berry Gordy, the architect of the Motown sound. Ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low. Others call him the Clive Davis of gospel entertainment.
To me, that's a phenomenal statement. You know, I never thought I would be compared to some of the people that I looked up to in that industry, and I really take honored that people would say that. But I really don't know what I am. You know, I know that I'm a passionate person about people, and with that, all this other stuff has kind of blossomed and became what it is.
How do you have an ear for who you should reach out to? Because I'm sure we talk about Brianna and we talk about Kalante.
Yeah.
You've looked at a whole lot more than that.
A whole lot. Like, I get stuff every week, all the time. And some people I listen to, and some people I'm just like, I'm over music. I've been listening, I don't want to hear nothing or whatever. But I think for the history and how it's happened, it's the people who are close to me that know me, that have introduced me or showed something to me that has given me that interest. So it hasn't been someone who's come up to me and be like, hey, listen to my CD, hey, do this, or oh, hey, I'm great at this. It's always been somebody who is in front of me, or someone who works for me that say, hey, look at this person, and when I listen, I get that feeling. And that feeling is unexplainable. I can't tell you this is the formula and this is what I go through in my head. It's like within that first 30 seconds, I know for a fact whether I want to sign that person or whether I just want to move on and go to the next person. And when I get that feeling, I don't second guess it. I don't sit down and calculate it and say, okay, how this could work. I literally go off of that feeling, and every single time it has not failed me.
Just get out of your system, turn to somebody and just say, life hurts sometimes. Success may sound like it's come easy to this preacher with the growing church just outside Atlanta. But he's familiar with failure too. The earliest came growing up in Baltimore, where he was expelled from school. You get kicked out of school in 8th grade?
Yeah, 8th grade. Got expelled from Baltimore City public schools. And
what'd you do?
So I was a fighter, man. Like, a lot of anger issues or whatever. And so I took it out in fighting. So I would fight or whatever. But this particular day, I decided to take my dad's razors out of his razor, and I put them between my knuckles. And literally while I was fighting the guy, he was getting cut up. And so literally they expelled me from Baltimore City schools. And you know, it was crazy. I just had a lot of anger problems, and I would take it out in fighting. So, you know, I've been suspended multiple times for fighting, and my mom would be like, you know, fed up with it and upset and all that kind of stuff. But then my dad would be like, well, you know, you ain't no punk, so you gotta defend yourself. But I would never start fights, but, you know, I was like a heavy-set dude, so they would pick on me, and then I would just fight my way in.
What's the breaking point? What changed? Because you graduated high school early.
I graduated high school at 16. I did high school in 2.5 years. So the breaking point for me that I can pinpoint, like, you know, standing here and looking back. So around 13, my appendix erupted. And they say when your appendix erupted, it releases a toxin that if it gets to your brain, you die instantly. So I was in the middle of the night. I woke up with all these chills and shivers, and I couldn't walk or whatever. Called for my parents. They rushed me to the hospital, and literally the doctor was like, he's having an appendectomy or something like that. And they rushed me into surgery, caught it before it reached my brain, but I flatlined on the bed. And they resuscitated me. I spent 2.5 months in the hospital. So I had to go to rehab. I had to learn how to walk again. And I think that was like the breaking point for me, because I kind of look, and then my aunt, who is the evangelist, she was kind of like, you know what this means? God got a call on your life and all this other stuff. So she was pushing that. And then what really made me just fell in love with church was, while I was in the hospital, like, none of my friends came to see me. Nobody, you know, like, it was just my parents and my aunt. And in that moment, I was kind of like, dang, I really need to do something different, because clearly the people I'm trying to impress and live for ain't really concerned about me. And here I am, 2.5 months in University of Maryland Hospital, just had an appendectomy and learning how to walk again on a PN tube. And when I got out, I just kind of said, you know what? Let me go ahead and just live my best life now. And that's what I did. So this awakening in me came where I just wanted to really live better than I was.
And the child, kicked out of school in 8th grade and suspended twice in one day, went on to finish high school in just 2.5 years.
It's history ever since, man. I've been going hard since then.
Of the nearly 326,000 active duty U.S. sailors, more than 60% are under the age of 30. Navy chaplains have a tremendous task and great opportunity to reach that generation. CBN's national security correspondent Eric Rosales has the story of what they're doing.
How do you get millennials, or those who've never stepped foot inside of a church, excited about Jesus? It's a common problem that's facing many churches across the country. The same is true for the U.S. Navy, but they're tackling that issue head-on through training.
We grew up in the cookie-cutter 80s,
right?
And therefore everything's got to look the same. And our new generations are going, no, God made us all unique.
Reserve Navy chaplain Eric Young sees that on a regular basis in his other life as a senior pastor at a church in Pennsylvania. Young says learning their language is key, not just how millennials speak to each other, but where they communicate, such as online.
That's what Jesus did. He didn't hang out in the synagogue office and wait for people to show up. He went out to them and hung around those people where they were at, as they were, and loved them right then, right there.
Young and hundreds of other Navy and Marine Corps chaplains learned how to better do that during a 3-day training session in Norfolk.
Can you name all 4 Beatles?
They learn cultural differences and how technology, if used correctly, can enhance experiences.
I noticed that a lot of people coming through our pipeline are younger, and they already kind of are hipped to what the social media aspect is. So it's great that the military is changing just like the rest of the world. So adapting is it's always great things.
Experts say millennials will be turned off if you don't post engaging content or if you don't know how to use hashtags.
While millennials and Gen Z are less religiously affiliated, it doesn't mean that they aren't spiritual.
A recent Pew research found more than 1/3 of millennials now say that they're unaffiliated with any faith, up 10% since 2007. Chief of Navy Chaplains Rear Admiral Margaret Kibben says it's her group's responsibility to let those who serve know they are not in this by themselves.
If they understand what surrounds them and who surrounds them, and they can put their roots down just a little bit deeper into something that is grounding them, a sense of faith, a sense of purpose, a sense of value, then they will be better off.
Bottom line, you have to know the people, know their language, and understand their culture. Eric Rosales, CBN News, Norfolk, Virginia.
You can find more of our exclusive coverage of the issues you care about most at cbnnews.com. Have a great day.